Hello, everyone. In the book Humanistic Marketing by Richard J. and Michael Pearson, Chapter 15 talks about the power of the people and if branding can be used to promote global democracy. This chapter opened with an exposition of two conflicting visions of the world. Fukuyama's optimistic theory of the idea of democracy winning global public appeal on the one hand. His hypothesis is that liberal democracy is now finally emerging as the only real political option, not just for the number of countries, not just for the Western Hemisphere, but globally. And Huntington's pessimistic theory of the clash of civilizations on the other. He states that at the heart of contemporary power struggles lies a clash of cultural identities, and today we are fighting over power to define who we are. Against the background of these world visions, two questions are asked. First, if the idea of democracy provides a desirable brand position, and second, if it were possible for corporations to use the power of branding to promote democratic mindsets and thus help move the world in the peaceful direction of Fukuyama's vision. To answer the second question, we're going to start with the brand building concept, who is divided into three blocks: brand value, brand mantra, and brand narrative. A brand mantra is a short sententional proposition, a brand tagline, that criticizes everything the brand stands for. To mention just one example, think of one of Nike's brand mantras, "Just Do It," which in just three words conveys everything the brand stands for. To understand what the brand value is, let's take for example cars. Consumers often associate Volvo with safety and BMW with raw performance. If this is a function of marketing development and execution, then these associations are indeed brand values. Consumer associations play such a predominant role because brands are mental entities, intangible phenomena that exist in the mind of consumers. Effective brand values resonate with core consumer values and needs. Brand narrative is the overall context the brand story takes place. In fact, brands position themselves in the customer's mindset through storytelling. Based on a pilot study, the brand mantra of democracy is the word with, and the brand narrative for the context is young people. To understand what the brand value of democracy is, we have to state that democracy depends on a number of individual rights, freedom, responsibilities, and beliefs. It's important to promote these values in order to develop democratic mindset. Also, in order for persons in globalized world to develop a democratic worldview, it is paramount to be socialized into communities with multiple and changing cultural identities. Part of this multicultural socialization should include pedagogical exposition to values of diversity and inclusion. Being civically engaged also enhances the chances of developing a democratic mindset. All of this leads us to the brand value, which is express. And what is more important for democracy is self expression, since it's what attracts an individual's attention. This leads us to asking this question: is there any consumer appeal in promoting the idea of democracy? Democracy is correlated with self expression. Indeed, the ultimate individual achievement, not necessarily to do great things and have a tangible impact, but to develop and express desirable self identity, which is a very important human need. This will lead to successful development. Another human need is social recognition that comes in three forms. The first sphere of recognition occurs in relation to the emergence of modern family structures, where each member of a family receives recognition from other members in terms of intimate relationships. The second sphere of recognition, the legal system, assigns to each citizen a set of individual rights that are, in principle, universally binding in all legal contexts within the democratic nation state. In the third and final sphere of recognition, the achievement principle dominates. This means that social networks assign individual recognition based on the achievements that result from the successful development on his or her personal abilities. So, to answer our question, democracy is a conductive concept of self expression being a human need, which is, of course, appealing to consumers. By the end of the chapter, two challenges are discussed. The first one is the democracy concept only appeals to consumers in modern markets situated in democratic nations, states, and regions. The second one is related to self expression. Indeed, self expression is important for the democracy concept, but it's hard for the non democratic activities. In conclusion, the empirical findings and theoretical arguments support the claim that corporations can use branding as a force for good to shape democratic mindsets, and that this endeavor offers a potentially very desirable brand position. I hope you liked this video, and you can go over it again to review your notes and make sure you understand the importance of branding global democracy.